Man, oh man, I don't even know where to start. I really don't. But one thing is true. This bye week couldn't have come soon enough. Here in week 9, the Packers getting absolutely embarrassed, in my opinion, over the Detroit Lions, 24-14, and that score doesn't do it justice. Packers scoring a late 7, quote-unquote, garbage time touchdown. We have a lot to talk about in today's video, my instant thoughts and reactions and breakdown of this ugly game against the Detroit Lions. And I'll start off by saying, why does this happen so much for us Packers fans, where you can circle a couple games every year where they just get punched in the mouth and curl up into a ball? Right? Heading into this game, you're looking at it, you're going, this is the first game for the Lions outdoor. This is the 4th rain game for Jared Goff, right? And we played like the team that doesn't play outdoor. We played like the dome team playing in the rain, quite literally. Everything you expected the rain to disrupt happened to the Packers and didn't happen to Jared Goff. And I got to give props to Goff, man. He's been playing super efficient football, and we made it so easy for him. We made it so damn easy for Jared Goff. The Packers, in so many games, so every one of their losses this year, they simply can't get out of their own way. They're stepping on their own feet. I mean, we have 10 penalties today, right? We have 6 drops today by wide receivers, by tight ends alike. They can't get out of their own way. And yes, the Lions did everything they needed to do to win this football game, but when you look at the box score and simply just the team stat, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Similarly to the Lions win last week, where the Titans had basically beaten them on every front in the box score, so did the Packers here today. The Packers had 411 total yards, the Lions 261. The Packers had 6.6 yards per play. The Lions had 4.7. The Packers had 273 passing yards to the Lions 137. The Packers even had more rushing yards than the Lions, 138 to 124. The difference here is the Packers had a turnover, which we'll talk about it. Awful interception again by Jordan Love. And we also had 10 penalties, 10 for 67 yards, where the Lions had 5 for 51. Starting off this game with a weird penalty on a nice kick return by Nixon. I have no idea what that flag was, but every other penalty after that, it was earned, right? We're making boneheaded penalties after penalties after penalties, putting the team in a worse position multiple times, whether that's the offense getting backed up to where it's a much harder third down, or the defense allowing the offense to come closer to the goal line and then score right after that because they're so close to the goal line. So many times the Packers shot themselves in the foot in this football game. I also want to talk about the dirtiness of the Detroit Lions, and I put out a tweet earlier, and it really just showed me also how toxic Lions fans are. I mean, act like you've been here before. I know you guys haven't. Other than last season, I know your team has been a dumpster fire for God knows how long, but have some class, have some decency, at least to admit that the play by Brian Branch was dirty, because it was. Quite literally led with his helmet into Bo Melton, clearly after the ball wasn't caught. I mean, he could have avoided that. He 100% could have avoided that, and he deserved to get ejected out of the game. Then you see the replay on the same play where a defender, I don't know who it was on the Detroit Lions, is laying on Jordan Love's ankle, rolling it underneath him on his bad leg. It's absolutely disgusting to watch those type of things. And not only that, then to have Lions fans backing it up like it didn't happen and that either of those aren't a dirty play. It's disgusting. Have some class, have some decency, right? Act like you've been there before. And it annoys me because it's not the first time. We saw it multiple times last year with Kirby Joseph. It's not the first time. The Lions play dirty on defense, and you don't want to see that in the NFL, where players are quite literally trying to injure a quarterback after the ball is thrown by rolling their ankle underneath them. If that happened to Jared Goff, you guys would have the exact same reaction, as you should. All right, now that rant's over, wanted to talk about that real quick because it's just annoying me right now. Let's dive down into the stats, into the game, and we'll start on the Packers offense. Man, the game plan that I thought was best would be go into this game, run the football, keep the ball out of the Lions' hands. And when we went through that first drive and took, I think, 7-8 minutes off the clock, running the football very well, Josh Jacobs just tearing them up, and I said this in my game preview. The Lions actually don't have a good run defense. Teams just can't keep running on them because they're down by 2 scores, just like the Packers. And that's exactly what happened to the Packers. Josh Jacobs had over 100 rushing yards in the first quarter. Right? And we ran super well with Josh Jacobs behind a new offensive line without Josh Myers. And I was like, great. The Packers are running the exact game plan that you need to run to beat the Detroit Lions. Then it all went downhill after that. I mean, we had multiple first downs where we're passing the football. It's like, why are we doing this? Jordan Love is clearly not 100%. We're running the football very well. Josh Jacobs is torching them. Why are we abandoning the run at random times? I don't understand it. Jordan Love finished 23 of 39, 273, 0 touchdowns, and interception. I mean, I could see why a lot of people were like, hey, sit Jordan Love, let him get healthy, into the bye week, come back against the Bears. Let's roll with Malik Willis. We can run the football with him, and that's the best game plan to beat the Lions anyways. I could see why you guys said it. And off the start, I was like, okay, Jordan Love looks good. Like, we're making quick reads, quick throws. He doesn't have to move around too much. When he's not having to extend plays or be mobile, it's fine. But the moment he has to, it's absolutely god-awful, and it's clear that groin is stopping him from doing so. And if that's the case, you got to sit him. You got to bring in Malik Willis, especially after halftime, after that scramble drill where he threw it to Jaden Reed deep and we didn't have timeouts or couldn't clock it. So, halftime, and Jordan Love is like very heavily limping off the field. At that point, you got to protect your franchise. You got to protect your quarterback and take him out of the game. Plain and simple, you got to take him out of the game. Put Malik Willis in, who hasn't lost a football game for the Green Bay Packers, right? He's 2.5-0, we'll call it, right? Not saying we would have went down and won with Malik Willis, but you still got to protect Jordan Love for the future, for this future of the season. You want him to get back to 100%, right? Because Jordan Love is a great quarterback when at 100%, but when he's not good. He also makes poor decisions, and that has nothing to do with the injury. I mean, the poor decision on that pick six, that absolutely changed this game. This game would have been completely different if the Packers didn't make that mistake and Jordan Love scrambled right and just, for some reason, threw it up. I just throw it out of bounds. Like, you're throwing it away. Why not just throw it out of bounds? And Kirby Joseph has a gimme pick six touchdown, just like the Rams pick six touchdown. I don't understand it with these decisions. It wasn't like this last year. I really don't understand it. Overall, the Packers ran the ball very well, just couldn't run enough because they're down multiple scores in this game. They ran 23 times for $138, 6.0 average, a touchdown. Emmanuel Wilson ran strong. Chris Brooks ran strong, although he had that drop on that first drive on the Texas route. I mean, we had so many drops. We had 6 drops today, and this continues to just kill the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how much longer I can defend Tay Wicks. I mean, drop after drop after drop, and then to drop that touchdown late in the game, wide open, and some people may be saying, oh, it was a poor throw by Jordan Love. You're a receiver in the NFL. You got both hands on the football, you catch it. I don't care if it's rainy, if it's windy. If you get both hands on the football and there's no defender within 5 yards of a radius around you, you catch the football. And that's been a problem for us all year, is these drops. Not only Wicks, we've seen Reed have drops, we've seen Watson, we've seen Dobbs, we saw Tucker Kraft have a drop today on a crucial third down. So many drops, we couldn't get out of our own way, and yes, it's raining, but look what the Lions didn't do. They didn't have any drops. They were prepared to come and play in the rain as a dome team that hasn't played a single outside of a dome game all year. So I don't know if it's preparation, I don't know if it's plain and simple our guys aren't executing, or a mixture of both, but it's embarrassing. As for the Packers defense, the Lions only scored, 17 points? And this is a team that's the number one scoring offense in the NFL. So we did a decent job. It's just, we made it so easy for them. Goff finished 18 of 22, super efficient, yet again, like he has been the past month. A touchdown, 145 yards, 109.3 rating. Didn't make him throw an interception, didn't make him fumble. I mean, we had one pressure on him that resulted in a sack. And I'll say this, and we made it so easy for him, and even when it was a third and long, he didn't make the throws. He was incomplete on almost every third and long that we sent some pressure. He just threw it right into the dirt. We should have forced those situations more, but you can't when you allow a first down run of 7 yards, right? That's exactly where the Lions want to put you, and we made it easy for him. Montgomery 17 for 73, couldn't tackle him all day. We have Quay Walker with again just a horrible game, horrible run fits, overcommitting, undercommitting, missing tackles, not playing zones correctly. It returned from his concussion, but we looked worse with him today. Jahmyr Gibbs 11 of 65 for a touchdown. I mean, there's a late game, I think it was a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1, and they run a simple inside handoff and he's untouched for a touchdown. It's this is a short yard situation. How are you untouched up the A gap? It makes no sense at all. Receiving, Amon St. Brown 7 for 56. A guy shows up in a Green Bay Sucks shirt and then you allow him to do that. I mean, there's just no backbone sometimes of this team. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. And if a player shows up in a shirt like that and they're talking crap all week, you would like to see the Packers punch them in the mouth, and that simply didn't happen. Laporta 2 for 28, Montgomery 3 for 23. I mean, again, they threw for 145 yards. They did exactly what they needed to because we couldn't get out of our own damn way, and we made it so easy for them. Now, saying all of that, the alarm bells aren't ringing for me as a Packers fan. I know I'm going on a ton of rants today because we've seen this before, and it annoys us as Packers fans, and hopefully this can get cleaned up. And I know we sound like broken records saying that here in Week 9. Hopefully these boneheaded mental mistakes and self-inflicted wounds by this Packers team will get cleaned up. These penalties, these drops, these wild play calling, right? Like 2nd and 1, pass, 3rd and 1, pass, 4th and 1, run, turnover on downs. You started at 2nd and 1 and you go turnover on downs. The Packers finished 1 for 4 in the red zone. Like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The execution isn't there. The everything. It was so embarrassing today, and that's why mainly I'm annoyed. But again, I don't think the alarm bells are ringing for me. The Packers are still a 6-3 football team, right? They could still be second in the division after tonight, depending what happens with the Minnesota Vikings that kick off here very shortly. Now, we head into a bye week, and hopefully that helps because not only we'll get healthier with Evan Williams missing this game, that hurt us a lot. Jair missing this game, that hurt us a lot. It probably would have been Jair on the Lions' first touchdown covering St. Brown, and we might get a different result there. Josh Jacobs is hobbling around with his hurt ankle. Josh Myers being out actually hurt us. I thought it would be a plus. Elton Jenkins couldn't snap a ball to save his life today. We had like 3 fumbled exchanges, and they're very low to Jordan Love, and some of those he should have caught, but those were all awful snaps. It was terrible. We look like a preseason football team today. But week 11, we head to Chicago. We take on the Bears, who just got absolutely smoked as well by the Arizona Cardinals. So, both teams really have to turn it around. I think if the Packers go to Chicago and lay a stinker against Chicago, which we've had their number for the past decade, then, in my mind, the alarm bells will be ringing. But I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Are the alarm bells ringing in your head for this Green Bay Packers football team? Me, they're personally not. I was so confident in them today, and they just proved me wrong. Flat out proved me wrong. I was so confident in what the Packers could do today, and they did the exact opposite. Interested to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. After a punch in the mouth game like that against a division rival, there's a lot of discourse over the Packers in the comments usually, so I'll be interested to read and reply to some of those. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the video. Sorry if it was a lot of ranting today. Just wanted to speak my mind. A lot of the times I try to remain positive. I try to take out silver linings, but today it's just embarrassing and unfortunate, and that's why I'm mainly annoyed, and I'm really, really, really hoping this stuff finally gets cleaned up. But I appreciate you guys coming by. Please leave a like down below if you did enjoy the video. Go click the subscribe button if you're new here and want to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers throughout the entire week. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.